As America's love affair with the automobile began to grow, Lincoln became more than just a motor car. It became a symbol of attainment. 1939 saw the introduction of the Lincoln Continental as a 1940 model. Originally custom-built at the request of Edsel Ford, the design was inspired by the graceful styling and clean lines of the Continental cars seen only in Europe. The car's enthusiastic reception spurred the company to put it into production. Two models were produced, a convertible and a two-door coupe, each powered by a V12 engine, each constructed using only the finest materials, and each built almost entirely by hand. The long, low look immediately set the Continental apart from its contemporaries. The distinctive rear design, with European-style exposed wheel cover, earned the car its name, Continental. The Museum of Modern Art honored the Continental for its design excellence. Architect Frank Lloyd Wright declared it to be the most beautiful car in the world. The Zephyr, on which the Continental was based, stopped production in 1942 when Ford converted its manufacturing facilities to war work. After contributing to the war effort, Lincoln carried over pre-war cars with only minor exterior changes. The 1949 models, however, were thoroughly modern designs, distinguished by a two-piece windshield, and longer wheelbase Cosmopolitan series models by a modern one-piece design. In addition to a sedan, coupe, and convertible models in each series, a six-window fastback Cosmopolitan town sedan was also available. For 1952, a slimmer, trimmer, and more angular Lincoln was introduced. In 1954, Continental was designated its own division within the company, but would be merged back with the Lincoln division in June of 1956. This also marks the original design of the four-point Lincoln Star badge, which would make its debut on the 1956 Continental Mark II. The 1956 Continental Mark II also established the classic hood, cabin, and deck proportions which would define the modern luxury coupe for decades to come. Developed under the direction of Edsel Ford's son, William Clay Ford, the clean, elegant lines contrasted sharply with the flamboyant styling of other cars of its day. Powered by a 6.0-liter V8 engine, the Mark II was equipped with power steering, power brakes, power windows, an automatic transmission, and motorized radio antenna, as well as a luxurious interior of imported Scottish leather. With only 3,000 produced, each Mark II was shipped to the dealer in a custom-tailored, fleece-lined cover. At nearly $10,000, it was the most expensive American car of its day. The 1958 Lincoln Capri featured a 430 cubic inch Continental V8 engine, the largest engine available in a U.S. production car at that time. The Town Car nameplate debuted in 1959 and would go on to designate the most luxurious Continental interior package from 1969 to 1980. The 1961 Lincoln Continental was much more than an all-new car. Available as either a four-door hardtop or convertible, both with center-opening doors, its focus was on simplicity and refinement. This Lincoln featured exquisite proportions and bravely undecorated surfaces. Metal was allowed to express itself in bold horizontal planes, such as brightwork over the fender line and a well-mannered chrome grille. It was the first automobile named Design of the Year by the prestigious U.S. Industrial Design Institute. The dark blue four-door Continental convertible produced for President John F. Kennedy was painted funeral black after the events on Dallas's Dealey Plaza. It continued to serve Presidents Johnson, Nixon, Ford, and Carter before being retired in 1977. 1968 saw the introduction of the Lincoln Continental Mark III, a personal luxury car which took many of its design cues from the mainstream Ford Thunderbird. Though known as the Mark III, the first models wore the Continental nameplate on the rear fender. Luxury styling features included a stately front grille, retractable headlamps, and signature Continental deck lid styling. The Mark III was also one of the first vehicles to offer anti-skid brakes and radial ply tires. Through the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, Lincoln vehicles had become symbols of attainment. The next generation would forever establish Lincoln as one of America's leading manufacturers of premium luxury cars.